Hello, my name is Kristen. I live in a van with my cats, and I sell and share happy thoughts, and this is the Happy Thoughts podcast. Hi, we're on episode 55 of the Happy Thoughts podcast, and I have Alejandra Garza with me. Alejandra is one of the directors of the Wellbeing Project. Is that correct? Is that the correct statement?
The correct title is Senior Manager, but yes, at the Wellbeing Project.
Senior Manager at the Wellbeing Project. There was a Hearth Summit here at Omega, which I haven't talked that much about that on the podcast yet, so this will be kind of just telling about that as well. But the Wellbeing Project, Harlem Wellness Center, and Omega put together a summit where wonderful people came together to talk about. It was so happy thoughty. For my listeners, we focused on play. We talked about how important it is to take care of ourselves and really respect ourselves, to let that kind of ripple out in a bigger way. At all the tables, there was a craft basket, and it made my little ADHD brain so happy to get to craft while people are talking and for that to be taken seriously. The different people that were presenting, it was so amazing. And I gave Alejandra a happy thought and I told her how meaningful the project was, and then she agreed to come to the podcast, which is so amazing. I would love to hear more about your thoughts on well-being, but I'm going to give you a chance to introduce more parts of yourself that you want to talk about, and then we'll just pull a happy thought.
Amazing. That sounds great. I'm very happy to be here, to be seeing you again after sharing such a wonderful event that also inspired me personally and others that were participants at the event, just getting to know each other, getting to know you, and I'm so happy to be here. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna pull a happy thought and then we'll see where the day takes us.
Amazing.
Take time to do what makes your soul happy. Jeremy McGilvrey. I'm going to put it in the chat for you so that you can see it as well.
I loved it. It brought me, it grounded me to what we're doing right now, hosting this podcast, having this conversation in the middle of the day. It's 11 a.m. for me in Mexico. I'm in Mexico right now. And yeah, mornings are usually super hectic with meetings. The Wellbeing Project is a global initiative, so we have meetings with different partners all over the world, and mornings are usually hectic, but finding this pause today to chat and taking time, as the quote says, I just felt like it really encompasses and describes what we're doing today, taking time to do what makes our souls happy. I loved it.
And that's what I feel like was the Hearth Summit. It was taking moments that make you happy and then letting those grow into whatever they are, like with Chi and her weaving, and with so many different people with what they were talking about. Like you could look at it as, oh, that's just like a craft, and then to see it as how important it is. Like taking time to do what makes your soul happy. Like the second part of this statement could be like, it can fully change the world. You can change everything when you just do the thing.
Yeah. And it also makes me think of maybe the first thing we need to do is decide to make the time for those things, no? To really, really make the time for it. But then we have made the time, we're there, but we're thinking, our mind is not there. We're thinking of what we need to do next, what's pending. And it's something that we always also try to foster in our calls, community calls in the Wellbeing Project. Thank yourself for being here. Thank yourself for prioritizing this work. And let's be here, because right now, nothing else matters. Right now, we're here. And I think that's really important. Not just take the time, but also let yourself be in that moment, in that activity that makes you happy.
Yeah. And for me, I feel like the step before those is, do I even know what makes me happy? Because sometimes I think when you're not present in it, maybe that wasn't actually the thing you needed. I have found so much work in my life has been just figuring out what is it that I want. We definitely care a lot more than we let ourselves sometimes. I recorded a podcast with Tunde yesterday.
Amazing.
I know.
Wow.
He's cooking the whole time. It was great.
That's amazing. Wow.
Oh wait, well, why did I say that? Because
he was doing something that made him happy too, like cooking. or
Yeah,
what?
yeah, I love that. And I'm sure that like happy thoughts ground me into spaces. Like when I handed you a happy thought, I had wanted to meet you and talk to you and say, this is such a great event. But having a happy thought to hand humanizes the moment for me of like, you're a person and I'm a person and we can just talk rather than turning people into like when you're sitting in the audience and someone is talking on a stage, it puts something in
Yeah,
between. And
like
so
invisible wall or something.
right. And that's just true. That's just something that happens. But when I do a market, I walk around and give all the vendors happy thoughts because it just helps me take up space and be like, I can be here.
Receiving a happy thought from you is like receiving a hug. Like the thing I like when I imagine yourself at a market giving those out, and it's also like a hug to all of the other vendors and like a welcome, and that's it's really beautiful.
I loved your definition of well-being on your bio on the Wellbeing Project, talking about how important it is to take care of ourselves in order to bring that ripple effect. And I'd love to hear more about it's a big move to turn that into like a global project. How did that come about?
Yeah, I got to know about the Wellbeing Project in like 2018, 2019. I had a entrepreneurial project, social entrepreneurship project in Mexico,
Hmm.
and I was researching about how volunteering helps your well-being. And I read an article about the Wellbeing Project, whose mission is to help bring well-being to the center of change making and in the social change field. So, like for other social entrepreneurs, NGO leaders, directors, foundations, um, to help people who want to change the world or solve the world's problems to look inside and take care of themselves first, because like that saying that you can't pour from an empty cup, no?
Hmm.
So for me, it was so inspiring to learn about this movement and this NGO, and then I had the honor of like, no, I think I'm really proud like of myself because I actually reached out in 2021, like, do you have any job openings? I would love to work with you. This is my experience. And then I had the honor of them responding and interviewing me, and that's how I joined the team in 2022. But it's something that had already been born. Like I joined a team that the Wellbeing Project had started in 2012, and it's it was like a breath of fresh air to know that this movement was growing, that this initiative existed, that there were people caring for each other and for themselves. And for me, it was also like spacious in a way to know that there wasn't an exact definition for well-being. Like the Well-being Project doesn't define what well-being is. We believe that like there are 8 billion people in the world, and there are 8 billion definitions of well-being, and that is okay. Well-being is unique to each person's journey, to each person's background, traditions, like anything that works for you, that's it. And so to that question, they ask all of the team members, like, what does well-being mean for you? And I truly believe that that saying what I said right now, like you can't pour from an empty cup. You need to take care of yourselves to then take care of others or the planet or to do your work well,
Hmm.
no? And I also believe in the fact like being honest with yourself and then in the end doing like honest work too, or being in line or in alignment, congruent to like your thoughts, your actions, no? So if I am well, then the work that I will do will be done in the best way too.
Yeah. Do you find that, like, I'm sure you're talking to people who are on the same like wavelength and thinking some of the same things. The world doesn't really always show that it thinks the same. Like the hustle culture and betraying yourself so that you can go do the thing or give yourself to your family and all that kind of stuff. Do you feel like there's moments of tension? Do you find moments where it's challenging to speak this? I find it challenging.
Yeah, and we like returning to what I said, like each person defines what well-being means to them. It's also in a way you're meeting yourself where you are and what well-being means to you, and well-being is a journey, so that can change for you, and you keep meeting yourself where you are as you grow or as you change. And it's the same way when meeting others, trying to meet them where they are, trying to listen to them with curiosity, to return to what makes us human, because it's something that we all share. Um, and yeah, from that place of curiosity and knowing that it is okay to meet people where they are, and they maybe if you feel you're not being understood, it's because they don't know anything else yet. What they are sharing or how they understand well-being, it talks about where they are at. And you can't you can't blame people for like what they've been through, what they've experienced, how they've been educated, or from their childhood or whatever. So it's meeting people where they are, and also, but when you think about how you meet yourself where you are too, it
Mhm.
makes it also more relatable when treating others.
Yeah, I love that about the curiosity too. And I feel like meeting people where they are, another way I think about it is accepting people for where they are, which I think they are the same. But with the people who say no to a happy thought, it's been
Mhm.
like I've been told no to a happy thought millions of times now in the past few years. And it's been so wonderful to love all of the people that said no. Like to genuinely know that that is not about me, you know? And I think that sometimes I feel crazy saying the things I'm saying. Like, love can change the world. Like, just take care of yourself. You're important. And I'm like such a cheesy little being running around saying it. But I also think that love is why someone not agreeing with what you're saying, like what you were saying, like everyone is having a different experience. Even living in the van, I've driven to so many different people's houses. Like I've parked by so many different people that I just met, people, my friends, like all over the place. And it's just so clear that no one is doing life the same. No one is making coffee the same. No one is waking up the same. No one talks to their family, has dinner the same. Everyone is doing this life so different. And that's America that I'm looking at, right? It's overwhelming to even think that like the only thing that I can find that we can really all really relate on is our well-being, is the fact that we're looking for a feeling and that we know when we have it. Like what you were saying, it can be different all over the place, but you do know when you feel safe and peaceful, and you do know when you are happy, like when it's working. And I think just following those nudges, like, well, this is working. So I guess
Yeah.
do the next thing.
And even though we're all so different, it all comes down to like what makes us human. We all
Right,
look for connection, to being understood, to finding our tribe where people
right.
understand us and we feel safe. We can all tap into awe of nature, of a
Mhm.
child, of like of the universe. Um,
Yes.
we like there are places where we can be in understanding, even though we don't agree on on other things.
Yeah. Well, and I think I just did another workshop here at Omega, and we were talking about holding multiple truths at one time. Like it's okay
Mhm.
that you don't live the same way I live, or like that you don't have all the same truths that I have. Like it's it's possible to allow that to happen at the same
Mhm.
time. And I think that that's a hard one that we are
And
confronting.
so for me, like in my personal journey, it's been difficult to accept that you can also feel two things at the same time. Like something really hard can happen to you, and you can be in deep grief or anger or like whatever negative emotion comes up, and at the same time feel happy or smile or laugh or
Mhm.
like and both thing and you can hold both things at the same time. And also in this work, like with the Wellbeing Project, getting to know so many initiatives around the world that are doing such amazing things, like just caring for other people and for the world. And in this work, knowing and seeing how at the same time they can also care for themselves. Like one doesn't push the other away, no?
Right. Well, and I love that you were saying that you can in yourself you can hold two feelings because I think when you can do that and actually love yourself for doing that and not be like, what is happening? Like, you don't ask outside what is happening as much. Like you can hold that, like there are people holding multiple feelings at the same time too. And like if we have more compassion for ourselves in that, you can just hold so much more from other people. And yeah, I don't know what Happy Thoughts are doing, but they have allowed me to hold so many different experiences that would normally overwhelm me. But
Wow.
yeah, it's been wild. But I don't know if I should ask that. I was gonna say, do you have a favorite? Is it always called the Hearth Summit? All the different locations that you've gone, is it always the Hearth Summit?
It started as the Wellbeing Summit for Social Change in 2022. It was the first time we met like as a global community, the Wellbeing Project having worked for like almost 10 years, bringing the whole community together to one place. And it was a Wellbeing Summit for Social Change, and everything was experienced through the arts as a lens. So how can we express and feel and describe well-being through the arts, music, poetry, theater, dance, like whatever, as a universal language? Because since we are from all over the world, and maybe sometimes English is not our first language, even though the Wellbeing Project is in English, we thought the arts are the universal language for humanity. And so it was the first summit of that kind, and it inspired like people who were there, their eyes opened up to like a new reality, a new way of being, like transforming the way they were doing their initiatives back home, or the way they held space for their teams, many things that they knocked on our door like, that event was amazing, how can I bring this back home? And so in 2023 there were 5 regional well-being summits for social change organized by local partners. And actually, one of them was at Omega. The first edition of the summit was in 2023 at Omega. And the movement started growing so much with these events. And we saw with different partners and the co-creators of the Wellbeing Project that a different name needed to be given to these events, not just Wellbeing Summit, because it could mean so much more. And it was also a place of shared connection and belonging and connection to the land. And so how could we remove the well-being word from the name? And that's where Hearth came up. And now all of these events are branded as Hearth Summits.
Okay.
Um, and for me, being from Mexico, hearth was a new word. I had never heard of it. But it's this place around the fire, right? That
Yeah.
humanity has been sharing for ages. And we can all relate to that too. That's also another thing we all share. Like
Yeah.
someone has been with someone else around the fire sometime in their life, no? Whether it be in with their family and community and whatever, we have experienced that feeling and that warmth, and we wanted to bring that to the events. So all of them now are branded as Hearth, and they happen all over the world. Different partners and teams who reach out to us wanting to bring the event to life in their region. And the Wellbeing Project's role is to be there to support these teams and ensure that the event is in line to like the values and the way we envisioned the first one. Um, but yeah, that's a bit about the story and the name.
I love that. I I know the word hearth, but I don't think I've really said it very much. I think I've read it. And so when I was telling people about it, I was calling it the Hearth Summit, and no one knew what I was talking about. And I was like, I'm saying it wrong. What's happening
And I
here?
actually think like in English, like United Kingdom English, it is called Hearth.
Okay.
And American English, Hearth.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's why you don't know what I'm talking about. But if I was in England, they would have all known. I just need to go to the
Exactly.
They're calling
And
me
it
to England. I want to go. Do you guys want Happy Thoughts in England? I'll
was
bring them. I actually, there's a group that I was going to do a happy hang with last year, which are like groups that I started with Happy Thoughts. And I found their name on Instagram. And so I just messaged them. And it wasn't the same group. They were in like UK. And so I'm
Mm.
messaging them about a happy hang. And then they were like, well, if you're ever in the UK, we'd love to have you. I'm like, okay. Wait
Wow.
a minute. Can't drive there in the van. Um, What was your favorite part of the summit at Omega, the one that we just did?
From this event, the music really has really like stuck with me. I loved how the artists, so Bruce and Morley, who were the artists on the welcome cocktail, they stayed with us for the 4 days of the event. So I'm referring to them specifically. The lyrics of their songs, the way they sang this song of Come Catch Your Breath with me as a welcome to everyone. Like we're here together catching our breaths. Like
Mhm.
we're going through tough times, acknowledging this shared feeling of the moments we're living. And then changing to the other song, which was like the lyrics were every chance I get, like
Yeah.
hold on to hope, find love, find inspiration every chance you get, no? Because it is an exercise we need to do regularly, and it's tough to
It
be
is,
keep a
it's
positive
work.
mindset or look for the good side of things. And then having them sing the song again on the second day at night, join us as a group and having us all sing together on the third day, like that made me feel, gave me a sense of familiarity, like, feeling that I was with friends and family with something that was like close to me, something that I already knew because they were there from the start on the first day, and how the lyrics really spoke to what we were all feeling, no, or sharing in the event.
One, yeah, music and so often it led to dancing too. Like it
Mm-hmm.
led to like community movement. And yeah, I like how you said that because it was every day. Like there was like a consistent piece within that of, yeah,
And
really.
I want to share something with you. I just thought about it right now, but we held the second edition of the Global Summit this year in June. So 2022, the first Wellbeing Summit. 3 years later, 2025, we held the second Global Hearth Now Summit.
Okay.
And we had groups of like 10, 15 participants that met each afternoon to like debrief and decompress and share about how the day had been. And in one of those spaces, one participant shared that a plenary that day had been um, really heavy for him, like to hear it. And then he said that the speaker had mentioned the word hope too many times, that for him it was like exaggerated and he didn't quite connect because the word was used excessively for him. But then I was hearing him and I thought like today and that day at the summit, we also heard singing from a gospel choir who was singing about Jesus, and the lyrics were repeatedly saying, remember that Jesus is listening when you pray. And they repeated it. Jesus is listening when you pray. Jesus is listening. And that's the whole song, it repeated that phrase. So I was like, it's weird that for this person, a plenary speaker
Mm.
repeating hope so many times was heavy and he couldn't like deal with it so much. But then there was a song that that talked about a specific religious framework. Not everyone at the event was Catholic, right? And we don't promote specific religious frameworks either. And he didn't mention the song. For him, the song, like, it didn't even come up. So I told him, like, it just brings curiosity to me. Like, I'm curious how the plenary was so strong for you, the mention of the word hope so many times. But then the song was also, they only repeated Jesus and listening when you pray all the time. Was that heavy too? Like, was it that too much? And he responded, like, no, like, song and dancing and music puts a certain filter to
Mhm.
things. And for him, it was like eye-opening too. Like, wow, a plenary really was heavy for me just because of the excessive use of a word, but then the excessive use of a phrase in a song didn't have the same effect. So, it's just amazing to see how song and art in general can help us process or communicate in different ways that don't land the same. I, uh-huh.
I love so many parts of that. Like, and I love that. I mean, you started this saying to have curiosity and like for that to be your innate thing to go to as well, I think is really like that because that story could have had a tense ending or a tense even story within it. And for everyone to just have learned a little bit more and like, that's
Mhm.
interesting. And I've been really trying to lean into curiosity with my feelings lately. We're just like, let things just be. If we can just not demonize the things that we feel, like we can work through them so much faster and we can relate in just a human way. Um,
Mhm.
I thought of this a little bit ago when you were talking about the Hearth Summit, like what your goals were with it. But then it kind of goes with him as well. Like I remember hearing a story of someone that was, I believe it was after the genocide in Rwanda, that um, someone who had gone through the trauma was discussing, I believe it was Americans, but it could have just been like clinical psychology
Mhm.
coming in to support people going through that. And just talking about how like there wasn't dancing, there wasn't drums, there wasn't singing, there wasn't like talking, I think can be great. And also I love that there is such an emphasis on how much healing and humanity there is in the arts, like in being joyful and having fun, like how much that literally heals you and how that can relate us to each other and find common ground. And if there's anything that can like solve problems, it's finding common ground. Like it would and just to like find the humanity for a second to get to be curious and have the conversations of like, huh, I don't quite understand what you're saying and I want to understand it. And then to actually listen and hear the
Yeah.
answer and then allow the other person to listen as well. Like there's just well done. On
Yeah. Yeah. And it's also like we're not experts on how to do this. We, as a single entity, the Wellbeing Project, no? This
right,
work is done in co-creations from the
right.
beginning, like from when the Wellbeing Project was born and how we do all of these events all over the world. I was just in a call where someone told me like I cannot bring an American meditation teacher to an event in India. Like they it's you really need to know what the local people do, how they share it with each other, how they express it, and bring the experts from their context, their fields, the people that are already there. No, so it's
Mhm.
something that we do a lot. Like we listen with a lot of curiosity, trust what each partner knows because they know what works. No. And that's
Right.
how all of these regional summits happen all over the world, following that line. I also noticed in this summit at Omega how people were always like preaching when something was said and they preaching in agreement. Like when a speaker said something, you heard from the audience like, Amen, like
Yes,
yes, sister, like
I
and I was
love
like,
that.
oh, this is so much of this region. This is how this happens and how things are expressed. Like I don't see that at other summits. That was
That
beautiful.
that would be really fun to observe what the group is doing.
Yeah. Or just like the snapping, they snap their
Yeah,
fingers or
yeah.
something. Uh-huh.
Yeah, people are so precious. I uh
What's
I
the best moment for you? I wanted to turn back the question to
hmm,
you.
what's the
Mhm.
best moment for me?
Or something you would
I
come
mean,
back to. Mhm.
I like that the whole time being there, I just felt like I found people validating my experience. Like I feel like I could pick up a conversation with anybody about like creativity and play and taking care of yourself. And I loved being humbled by that room. Like I
Mhm.
loved listening to Richard Davidson
Yes. And my
about bringing meditation to medicine and she and everything she was doing and Tunde and talking to Mia, like just all of them. It was so wonderful to see people taking this seriously. I just felt very safe in that room and I felt very, yeah, validated in a way that wasn't even coming to me. It wasn't like everybody was like, you're so great, you're so like that, not in that way. I felt quietly validated. Like I was just like sitting in my chair and like, oh, these people are saying what I what I think, but in a really eloquent way. These people are presenting it in a way better way than I can say it. And it was just the whole thing felt really wonderful to be a part of.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm very, yeah, well, I'm very grateful to have gone. No, you guys. Yeah, like meeting Elena. I mean, she was just sitting next to me at lunch and just learning who people were, but later, like having first just had a human conversation and be like, oh, you've done some cool stuff. And yeah, yeah, it was really fun. So I don't know if that answered your question,
No, it did. It's
but
beautiful.
yeah.
Yes.
And I did love seeing people just feel comfortable in the room, like shouting out or just dancing and singing and yeah, just people feeling, it just seemed like people were feeling okay with each other, and that was a nice feeling.
Mhm.
Did you say you go to all of the American Hearth Summits? Well, I feel like I heard that right.
North and South America. Yes.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
Um, so you're going to the Dallas one.
There's one in Dallas in December. And then next week here in Mexico, in a city called Saltillo, there's another one.
Okay. And are those the last two of the
Mhm.
year?
In America, like North and South America, yes.
Okay.
But we have, I think there's like 8 coming up. Like next week, Saltillo, and then we have Nairobi, Bangalore, Kuwait, Istanbul, I think Malaysia,
All this
Dallas,
year?
all this year. Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Does it overwhelm you or the organization? That kind of growth is so beautiful and amazing. And also, does it feel like it's getting away from you?
No, it's beautiful. And really, I come back to the word honored because I feel really honored to be presencing this and be a part of this. But it's beautiful too because it's organic. Like
Hmm.
all of these teams raise their hands or knock on our doors wanting to bring the event to their cities, hometowns. All of the teams are organizing their events independently. Our role is to help like hold the space for them and help them in their brainstorming process in wondering if they should connect to a certain speaker or not, to put
Sure.
the venue in a certain format or not. Like we're there in that way, but it's the local teams doing all of the heavy lifting, all of the
Right.
organizing. And nothing we do in the Wellbeing Project is alone. Everything is in co-creation, and the summits replicate that. And also, another thing from the way we work, there's 3 like core values to the way we work in the project, and one of them is lightness. So
Hmm.
that's also been new for me, like coming from I'm studied engineering and then worked in the like corporate space, process consulting, and in private companies coming from that world and entering this NGO where a core value is lightness, and it's like being able to hold things lightly, to know that things change, being open and curious if to see other solutions or other ways of doing things, being okay for things to change or to become something else entirely. That's also like a breath of fresh air and knowing that you can hold things in that way. And it being a core value of the way we do our work in the Wellbeing Project makes things so much easier. Like, yeah, you know that there's always more space to things. While holding things lightly, it means there's air.
Right.
There's more space.
I love that. Eckhart Tolle was just here last week and he has a happy thought. And so I was looking at
Ah.
it and I love this. It's being at ease with not knowing is crucial for answers to come to you. And I feel like it's kind of like what you just said. It's like leaving, you put it in the template. We need to have space for not knowing so that it can change and grow into what it's meant to be,
Mhm.
which I
Did you share the happy thought with him?
well, I'll tell you. I tried. So I
Okay.
did, it's up to the universe now. But
Okay, okay.
I I knew which car was going to be driving him. And so I put it under the windshield wiper. So
Wow.
we'll see.
I love that.
That's how I started. I don't know if I should even have that in here because I don't think you're supposed to touch people's cards. But I used to, like, the very first happy thoughts that I started writing down wasn't with the business yet. I had yet to quit my career and do all this, but I was going through a thing. And so I just started writing down the thoughts for my mirrors, and then I would walk around in San Diego and I just put them in street meters and under car windshield wipers. So I got back to the roots, but who knows if they'll find it. But I gave Liz Gilbert happy thoughts while she was here, and then she was on her book tour last week or so. And so I stood at the microphone and I asked if I could give her a happy thought at the end because they had a Q&A, and I handed her the happy thought and she remembered me. She was like,
That's
I know you. I was like,
amazing.
she was like, I've gotten a happy thought before. I was like, you have.
Wow. Congratulations. That's amazing.
Yeah, that was, I wrote on the back of it, I want to share happy thoughts with you. And then I was like, if you want to be friends, contact me. I don't think she's going to be contacting me, but the ball's in her court. But I just liked that moment. I was like, oh man, I can't believe I did that. But happy thoughts, they make me brave.
Pat on the back.
So like
Wow.
take time to do what makes us so
Yeah.
happy. Oh man.
Yes.
Yeah, it was good. But yeah, Cheryl Strait is coming here in October, so like next month. And I really want to give her happy thoughts. She's in here too.
Mm.
We'll see. But okay. Oh, we're gonna wrap up soon. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to share? And would you like to share any ways for people to find you? I'm going to put all the information for the Wellbeing Project and that kind of stuff, but is there anything else you want to share before we go?
I'm just so grateful for this space. Like, I really enjoyed our conversation. I hope listeners enjoy it too. And I felt like I was talking to a friend. This is amazing. Thank you so much for hosting it in that way. I would love to let people, like listeners, know that they can plug into everything we're doing at the Wellbeing Project. That's the way our work grows, and like we feed from what people need and what people tell us that how things need to be done or what we need to create together. There are a lot of summits happening all over the world, and they can all plug into those. And yeah, they can reach me at my email of the Wellbeing Project, alejandra@wellbeingproject.org. Yeah.
There are 46 countries that have listened to this podcast, so maybe one of these countries
Wow.
will be near you. And I
Yeah.
mean, for sure, this one. Thank you so much. This was so great. And I just love the more and more I learn about what the Wellbeing Project is doing, I just like it more and more. And I think having leaders in the world that are following the template that you guys have could be really helpful. So I hope people listening can, gain something from it. So thank you. Okay, I'm going to stop recording. Thanks for listening. Happy Thoughts are available on my website, thehappythoughtproject.com, and Amazon, and Fair for Wholesale. And we're on the Instagram, Happy Thoughts by Kristen. If you want to follow or leave a review on the podcast, you'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you, YouTube viewers, for being here.